What's up, guys? So before I get this going, huge shout out to Hail State 253 for letting me borrow this card so I can bring you guys the reviews. So here we go. Flashback Demarco Murray, 89 overall, 6 foot tall, 89 speed, 88 agility, 86 ball carry, 85 juke, 87 truck, 89 carry, 91 excel, and 85 elusiveness. Now also has a 71 catch and an 85 spin. So he's not the most elusive guy. Both his juke and his spin are both 85, and that's where I struggle the most, but you know, we'll get to that part later. But his trucking and stiff arming are a bit higher, so that's where I would say lean more. But before I tested all of that, of course the first thing that I wanted to see was how fast he was in the open field, or just, you know, bobbing and weaving his way through the offensive line in general. And as you can see here, he definitely has a potential to break to the outside and just take off, but there are some players like right here, Stephon Gilmore, who can really give him a run for his money in terms of speed. But thankfully I did score right here, but I saw that a lot. You know, sometimes, you know, he would break down the sideline, but then you would see players catching up to him slowly but surely. So unless the player chasing you is like very, very, very fast, most likely, you know, they're not going to catch you. Like right here, Harrison Smith, it almost seemed like towards the end he was catching up to him, but in short distances, like right here, like little 20-30 yard runs, very unlikely that he's going to get caught. But when it comes to big runs like this one, there's a good chance that whoever's chasing you just might catch you from behind. So from what I saw, man, he has just enough speed. And like I said before, juking and spinning, of course it's not impossible, but it was definitely tough for whatever reason. I got a few jukes here and there, a few spins here and there, but I would not really recommend leaning on this too much. But unless you think you're really that good, I would say stay away from this in general. When it came to trucking, I did not get as many animations out as I was hoping for, but I did get a lot of these right here. You know, like hitting them and like jumping forward for like an extra yard or two. I did get one animation you see right there, but that was really about it for some reason, but it is what it is. However, this was a different story. The stiff arms got a few bump offs, a few drags. Now, as you see right here, the bump offs are pretty much the same as Madden 16. As you know, you just push them to the ground, you keep running. The drags are a bit different right here. As you see, it's still the same concept. You know, you drag them for an extra 3 or 4 yards. But what I got the most by far were these ridiculous whiplash animations, which I'm sure this is pretty much everyone's favorite, you know, type of animation. You know, the ugly whiplash. So of all the, you know, ratings, truck, spin, juke, stiff arm, I would say the stiff arm by far was the best with Flashback. When it came to running up the middle, of course this was a great option, especially if there's like a huge gap, he can just take off and be gone. But if there's not, like this right here, and they just swarm you, just lower your shoulders. And even though he might not get those animations, believe me, like I said, with trucking he will absolutely fall forward most of the time. And when it came to his catching, he had some nice catches here and there, but believe me, he definitely dropped like 2 or 3 wide open passes. So if you throw the ball to him, don't be surprised if he drops 1 or 2 here and there. This was the only part of his game that was really concerning, and that was, you know, the carry rating. He took like 9 hit sticks, but he fumbled like 5 times, and that's just not what you want to see. And I know there was that whole thing with the fumbling issue, but some of this gameplay is after that patch, and he was still fumbling from time to time. So it really wasn't that surprising, because 89 carry is not the same as 99 carry. So you know, if this is a big concern for you, just cover the. As far as the bad plays, of course he had, you know, his bad moments. He wasn't always getting like 20 to 30 yards. But the thing is, I would say just stay away from spinning and juking. And if you see that your opponent is throwing a lot of hit sticks, man, I would say play it safe, cover the ball, or just run out of bounds. But by far what he did best was breaking the first tackle, you know, giving you that second chance, and sometimes even breaking multiple tackles in one play. Reminded me a lot of the David Johnson that I just reviewed. You know, they both are so good at breaking the first tackle, which I think is very, very important right now, because there are so many guys out there who are still trying to get used to the new running scheme. You know, they're still trying to get used to it, and having a running back that can help you along the way, you know, break tackles for you until you adjust. You know, there have been so many times when I try to juke past someone or spin past someone and I fail, but he still somehow breaks a tackle on his own. So it's nice to have a running back that can help, you know, bail you out of bad situations. Like right here, this play was so dead, he broke 2 tackles and somehow turned that into a touchdown. You know, there aren't many running backs that I feel in the game right now that can do that. Flashback Murray is definitely one of them. So guys, as always, if you pick up Murray, use him however you want to, but don't be surprised if he helps you a lot along the way. Overall, I say the guy was definitely very dependable, as long as you don't use him to juke and spin. If you're just going to use him to run past people or run through people, I would say that's the best way. But just remember, watch out for those fumbles. So that's going to wrap this up, guys. My final thoughts. Do I think he's worth $85,000? I would say he's only worth that if you love to truck and stiff arm people. If you love to, juke and spin and be elusive, obviously I would say pass on him. That's not what he's for. And of course, if you have like a really great team, he would look nice on your, your great overall team. But if you're rocking like a budget team somewhat, like I am, I would say go with David Johnson. They play somewhat similar, and he goes for much less. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap this up. My next review on defense is gonna, or actually my very first review on defense is gonna be Bass and Dominican Sue. On offense, it might be Flashback Foles. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all boys later. Peace.